morning, Tottenham fans. It's finished Tottenham 2, Bournemouth 2. Today I just want to do a video on what I thought about the players' performance, about the team's performance, about Bournemouth, about Areola, and my thoughts on where we're going to go this Thursday, what's going to happen this Thursday. And so, first of all, how the hell did we come away with a 2-2 draw in this game? Bournemouth, first of all, I just want to give them some credit. They were strong. The pressing was insane. I haven't watched any game this season where the pressing was that intense. Probably other than Liverpool. So kudos to Bournemouth. The way they're set up. Their wing backs. Their forward players, their midfield, they're all strong, powerful, know what they're doing, well drilled. And that's obviously down to Areola. Now, one thing I will say about Areola is this is a guy that all Spurs fans are saying that they want. This is the guy that's going to change everything for us, apparently. But I just want to tell you one thing about this guy. When they were 2-0 up, he didn't play pragmatic. He didn't shut up shop. He didn't try to seal us off and go and hold on for the win. What he did was he left Bournemouth open, let us back into the game, and we ended up 2-2. We only played a few good balls into the middle, a few good balls over the top, a few good balls into the middle, and they were wide open because they were still going for the third goal. Now, this is a massive issue that a lot of Tottenham fans saying that Ange does. When we were 2-0 up a few times this season, we didn't sit back and we were exposed at the back and ended up dropping points. Iriola's done exactly the same thing today. So I just wanted to point that out for all you guys saying that he is the Messiah. He's a very, very good manager. If he ever did become Spurs manager, he'd have my full support. But at the moment, Ange is our manager and Ange is getting my full support. And Ange got a point out of it today. It was so evident that us being able to bring on substitutes and decent substitutes as well kept us in this game. Vicario done some fantastic saves today as well. But let me talk about a few players today. First of all, I want to start with Romero, because in the first half, especially the first 20 minutes, I think he gave the ball away at least 4 to 5 times, and in dangerous areas as well. You could see the rustiness on that guy. He was not match sharp. He was not match fit. You can tell that a million miles away. He could not stand the press of Bournemouth. He was holding on to the ball way too long. And he nearly caused us to concede many more goals than 2 goals. It's nice to have him back, but it wasn't an easy game for him to come back into. I'm telling you that now. He was lucky they didn't score more goals from his mistakes. He will get better. We know how good he can be. It was just that he was just thrown in the deep end. His first game back in one of the highest pressing teams in the Premier League, and Romero couldn't handle it today, and that's as simple as that. I want to talk about Bissouma because it was night and day when you compared Bissouma's first half with Bergvall's second half. Now, Bissouma constantly lost the ball. He was very weak on the ball. He was pushed off the ball easily. He was lucky sometimes to get a foul when, for me, it wasn't a foul. It was a shoulder barge to the floor. He's becoming one of those players where you think, is he good enough? And Bergvall came on in the second half and absolutely tore Bournemouth a new one. He was brilliant yesterday, and he was running through. But this time, compared to the game, he played well in the last game against Alkmaar when he was playing. He was running forward with the ball, but there was no options for him to release it. But today there was, and you could see how much better this guy is when he gets past his man and then looks for a pass. And when there's options, Bergvall can look absolutely brilliant. He was outstanding. He was our best midfielder today by a country mile. He's 19 years old and he already looks exceptional. So for those people that say we didn't have a good summer, Bergvall was signed in the summer and he was exceptional today. Honestly, if you haven't seen it, please watch. Please try and watch highlights or something, because he played brilliant today. Always carrying the ball, always getting past his man. It's like he's playing on an ice rink, the way he keeps turning inside, outside, turning men inside out. They couldn't shove him off the ball either. He was very strong. He had a good pass on him. He was just a constant thorn, and he changed the game in the second half. Like, for us, we were a lot more attacking with him on the ball. And the next guy I'm coming into was Maddison. As soon as we had Maddison and Bergvall on the team, there was so much more creation going on. Another guy I want to talk about is Odegaard, because Odegaard had a lot of tricks, kept tackling himself in the first 10-15 minutes, but really grew into the game and became a big thorn in the Bournemouth side. He was taking on his man, drilling it into the box. He was very skillful, very fast. He looked very sharp today. Still not like the finished article by a long shot, but I saw glimpses of how good that guy can be, and I'm sure if he gets to his best and he gets a run of games, because remember, he hasn't really had a run of games yet for Spurs, I'm sure he will be a really, really good player for us. Brennan Johnson actually today showed me another side of his game. He was doing a lot more tracking back, putting in a few more tackles than he normally does. He was trying to take on his man today. He was showing different sides of his game that we were all shouting for, that he wasn't doing before, and now I think he's starting to probably listen and he's trying to do different things now. Solanke, we've missed him. He played a very, very well hold-up game, winning headers, strength-wise. He's still not match fit. He's still not sharp. You can tell by some of the touches he had, but he was sorely missed. And once he gets back to match fit, he's going to be very, very important. Welcome back to Van der Ven. When we had Van der Ven and Danso together in defence, I feel, apart from that, when they scored, which was exceptional play again from Bournemouth, to be honest, whenever Nilsson chipped the goalie. But I feel Van der Ven and Danso formed a very good partnership, to be honest. Spence, again, played very, very well again. Very strong on the ball, he is. Very strong. He's very hard to be dispossessed when he's got the ball. It was one stage he had 3 people around him, and I thought, he's going to get tackled. And he got out of it somehow, flicked the ball around the corner, and then done a 1-2 and got the ball back, and he was in space. I was like, this guy, he is 100% our best fullback at the club, probably one of our best players at the club. And like people like Spence and Bergvall were not even considered as a first team regular at the start of the season. Now, I couldn't drop either of those 2 players. Those 2 players are very, very strong players for us now. All in all, yes, Bournemouth probably deserved to... Oh, not probably. Bournemouth did deserve to win. But I saw glimpses today of the old Spurs, our attacking sense. There was glimpses of really good football. We didn't do it consistently enough against Bournemouth, but I saw lots of glimpses of good football from us. Remember that goal that Bournemouth got disallowed? We were on the attack. We played some fantastic football. Sonny had a shot, and I think we've done some fantastic football. When almost scored ourselves, and they countered us, and it was a brilliant counter, by the way, what Bournemouth did. It ended up being offside, but it was a brilliant counter, and they ended up scoring. But just before that, we were hitting our rhythm. It was strange. So if we can shore up our defence, it was our passing that really let us down today. If we can shore up our passing and our defending a bit more, and when we was passing out from the back, we were very, very poor. The midfielders, Bentancur and Basuma, constantly giving the ball away. We need to stop that. If we did stop that to an extent in the second half. That's why we got back into it. But we can't do that against Alkmaar. Keep the ball, play better, press hard, and I'm sure we can get that victory on Thursday. Let me know in the comments what you think, and come on, you Spurs.